Welcome back. So we were talking about menus in our last screencast, and here's something that's new about WordPress 3.6. The way that you actually activate menus is slightly different. If you're completely new to WordPress, this means nothing to you. If you're switching over, or if you're used to an older version of WordPress, this is a slightly different method. But it doesn't matter. The problem we were trying to solve is that we created this new menu. We've got About Us and Blog. Okay, we just have those two links right there. And we tried to implement it. We saved it. And we tried to implement it, but it's not showing up here. And that's because you actually need to tell WordPress, hey, WordPress, I want you to use my new fancy menu, the one that I created called Navbar. How do you do that? You have to click over on the Manage Locations tab right over here. And this is where you switch. You tell the theme, hey, I want you to use my navbar menu. Here, and just by the way, I'm going to go on a little bit of a sidebar here and talk about how right here we have a message saying that your theme supports one menu. Select which menu you would like to use before. And that's pretty straightforward. Fine. We only have one choice. You might be thinking, oh, this seems pretty complicated for just selecting one menu. Bear in mind, however, that different themes might have different menu options. You might have a more complex theme that allows you to put a menu here and a menu here, maybe a submenu here. And in that case, you would have to go through and select which menu goes where for every single location on your site. So you would have a lot more control over what menus appear where. In this case, we're starting very, very easily. We just have one menu. That keeps things nice and easy for us while we're still learning. So I've said, yes, use my new navbar, the new navbar menu I'm working on. Let's go ahead and click Save Changes here. All right, menu locations updated. Let's reload this and see what happens. Do. All right, this is exactly what we wanted, right? Well, almost. I don't have that home tab, but that's okay. We've got our About Us page right here. Okay, if I click on About Us, it should bring us to About Us. There we go. And we've got our blog page, and that's where all the blog items are. And if we click back on the title, that brings us back to the front page, which should be our welcome page. There it is right there. What's missing in here? I would really like to have a home button. That's just kind of a web convention I'm used to. So how do we go ahead and do that? Let's go back and edit our menu. So what do we need to add here? Well, that welcome page is our home. Like that's really what we're treating as our home, isn't it? So let's go ahead and add that to the menu. Oh no, we have a problem. This is placed at the end. That's not where we want it. We actually want it up at the top right here. I'm going to go ahead and save menu. And see what I did? All I did was I just dragged that up to the top. I'll go ahead and reload that. And there we go. Now we see that welcome is right here. This is where we want it. But guess what? I don't actually want that to say welcome. I would like it to say home. Home is again, another web convention I'm used to. How do we change the name of what appears there? I mentioned this in the previous screencast. All you need to do is just expand this option right here, and I can change the navigation label to anything I want. So I can say home. Let's say, welcome. There we go. Again, title attribute, that'll be what appears when you hover over that particular menu item. About Us, about Robo Bunny Attack, blog, let's say, actually, you know what? We could even change this. We could call this news, recent news about Robo Bunny Attack. All right, let's save this menu and let's see what our menu looks like now. I'm going to go ahead and reload this. And there we go. This now says home. Okay. See when I hover over it, the tooltip that appears, it says welcome. When I hover over About Us, the tooltip that appears says about Robo Bunny Attack. And when I hover over news, recent news about Robo Bunny Attack right there. What else can we do? How about a contact page? How do we add new pages to this? Well, we just add new pages. It's pretty straightforward. I'll go ahead and add a new page here. I'm going to call it Contact Us. And let's just put some fake text in here for the time being. Okay, that looks good. I don't want to allow comments on here, so I'll go ahead and publish that. Okay. What else? How about any other contact? How about a page where we can introduce the band members? Okay, because we're pretending that this is a band website. Let's go ahead and click Add New, and let's say Meet the Band. And then in this case, maybe what we could do is we could add that gallery. Wouldn't that be cool? Let's create a gallery with all of those images there. There we go. I'd like to add these four right in here. And that looks good. Let's create a new gallery like that. What order do we want? That order looks pretty good to me. Let's not have 3 columns. Let's see what 2 columns looks like. That would be interesting. Okay, I don't know what that's going to look like, so we'll try that out. And again, we're not going to put comments there. Let's go ahead and click publish. Okay, so I've just created those pages, and interestingly, okay, I've just hit reload. Those pages are nowhere to be found here. Before, whenever we created a new page, it would automatically add it to the menu. But now, because we're using a custom menu, we need to manually add these pages in here. That's no big deal. Let's go back and remember to edit our custom menu, we go to Appearance and then Menus right here. And you'll notice that now we have a few more options. If they don't show up under most recent, you can just click on View All. When you get a lot of pages, you might even want to use the search function to find the right page. But in this case, let's go ahead and add that Contact Us page. And yeah, sure, putting it right there is a good idea. And then finally, what else should we do? How about Meet the Band? Okay, let's add that. And maybe what I'd like to do, so I'm adding that there, maybe I'd like to put that right after About Us. Okay, I'll go ahead and click Save Menu. All right, and let's go ahead and reload this page, see what this looks like. Okay, there we go. We've got About, there we go. There's our home page there. There's About Us. There's Meet the Band. Let's see what this particular, hey, that actually looks kind of cool. That's not bad. Okay, we can play around with that later if we want to. There's our blog. And there's our Contact Us page right here. Okay, cool. Now I'm looking at this and I can see how eventually I might run out of room as I add more pages. And I'm also thinking, Meet the Band, I wonder if this has to be a top level item. I wonder if I can do a drop-down menu. I'm sure you've seen drop-down menus before. I wonder if we could do that. This is a nice thing about this. Here's how you create a drop-down menu when you're working within WordPress, in particular this particular theme. You see how, you remember how we were just able to move this menu item around? We can also move it across. We can actually, if I move it over like this, we'll see that I can have it just tabbed over a little bit, and you'll get the hang of it. The easiest thing to do is just to try it out, try moving the different items around. And what this does is you're essentially telling WordPress, hey, treat this particular menu item as a sub item underneath the item that's above it. Okay, so if I go ahead and click Save Menu, and I go here, I can reload here. And oh, where did Meet the Band go? I hover over About Us and now it's available here. So now I can click on either About Us or I can click on Meet the Band, this submenu right here. And this will bring us to the Meet the Band web page. Cool, now you know how to do drop-down menus. One last thing I want to show you is be careful, because the way that you would add, what if you wanted to add extra items under there? Okay, what if you wanted to put Contact Us underneath there? Okay, don't do this. I've seen people do this where they just start listing things down there. This will actually create a submenu underneath this one. If you want everything to be sub items underneath About Us, they all need to be at the same level like this. Okay, so I'll show you the difference. This is the correct way to do submenus. Okay, we do that, and now we've got these 2 items right here. See how fancy that is? When you do it this way, what you're actually doing is creating a submenu under there. And I mean that there are certain circumstances where that might be what you want, but in this case, this probably isn't what you want. You probably don't want Contact Us to be a submenu under Meet the Band. Okay, there are some cases you'll want that, but for our purposes, for what we're doing right here, we actually wanted it here. Actually, in this case, you know what? I'm just going to leave it right there at that level. That sounds good. One last thing I'm going to do. Okay, let's go ahead and reload that and see. Okay, there we go. We've got our 1 there. That looks good. One last thing I want to do is I want to show you under here, under links, I want to show you how you can add a link to a specific website. So let's say you had like a different site, like maybe I don't know, maybe you've got your music on SoundCloud or on iTunes and you want to have a store link. You want something to buy our music or something like that. So what we could do is we could just create the link, like a static link right here. Okay, so let's say it would be, what would be the, maybe a Bandcamp page. So let's actually find an example of a Bandcamp page. How about, I think Paul Federici is probably on Bandcamp. So let's find him. Paul Federici Bandcamp. There we go. Let's go find him. Where's his Bandcamp? There it is right here. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this link address. Now let's go here. Let's add this in here. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Here, let's just go there. Okay. Fantastic. Okay, let's put this in here. Okay, menu item. Buy music. There we go. Add to menu. Okay, and there we go. Buy music. How about, let's just leave that there and let's save this menu. And I'm going to reload this. And we get a nice new menu item in our thing. And where do you think this is going to go? We can see down in the lower left-hand corner that when I click on this, it's going to bring me straight through to the Bandcamp page. Okay, cool, eh? You know what? I'll show you one last thing. I'm going to leave you with one last thing to think about, okay? Think about how you might use categories, okay? Because we didn't actually do this, but I want you to think about how you might actually use this and how it could be useful within the context of building menus, okay? And then I will give you the answer to that in the next screencast. Okay? Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time.